stock market. Oh, man. Woo!
Ooh, boy. I'm having a horrible day. Baba Mayaba's down. We get wrecked. DT going to zero imminently. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen? Tattoo trucker's sweaty putrescent nutsack has fallen. Now, let's go look and see why Tattooed Chef stock has gone down. What, 7%? Now, Tattooed Chef has had a very, very, very tough year and a half. Why? Well, my fundamental thesis about Tattooed Chef is that it's highly unprofitable, share diluting trash, or it will be share diluting trash very soon, mark my words. And I have doubts about this company's ability to survive the upcoming recession. We have rising interest rates. People are not having as much money to spend. Everything's getting more expensive with inflation. And the last thing I think people are going to do is if they have squeezed budgets and they could potentially start losing their jobs as we keep raising interest rates, the last thing they're going to do is go to the store and buy Tattooed Chef Buddha bowls to feed their family, okay? And there's a plenty of other reasons. Oh, the gross margins. Their gross margin is one of the worst gross margins I've ever seen. It's so bad. Remember, this is at the top of the income statement. I think their gross margin can go negative. Now, I've tried to reiterate, I don't make fun of Tattooed Chef because the stock price went down. That's not the reason. If a good company gets absolutely wrecked because the market just is pessimistic about it, that's one thing. If a garbage, unprofitable, share diluting trash company pumped up by losers goes down, that's something to freaking celebrate. So, Tattooed Chef, despite Jeremy saying it would never happen, is now well below Everything Money's potential buy point of $5.11. And it's now under $4. And this is a time to be absolutely happy. At least the Lord gave me a gift today of having Tattooed Chef crash. Not as bad, obviously, as Baba stock. So let's go ahead and read the news about Tattooed Chef. Okay. So the last article that came out, at least on their website, was October 12th, 2022, where they had to correct certain expenses in prior periods. Remember, I did a video on this. Tattooed Chef's financials are trash. Okay. And on top of that, their accountants are so bad, whether through incompetence or fraud, I don't know, that they made a mistake reporting their revenues and their gross profit and their bottom line profit over multiple periods of time. So now what Tattooed Chef has to do is re-put out their financial statements and show their correct revenue, gross profit, and bottom line profit because they just absolutely suck. So that resulted in the stock price dropping massively pre-market a couple days ago, maybe last week, and then it recovered. Now we have Tattooed Chef dropping to, it's hovering around $4 right now. And the question is, why? I don't see earnings. I don't see any other news articles come out. What is causing this stock to collapse today? Well, the only thing I saw is, and I don't even know where I saw it, is that some analyst became more bearish on Tattooed Chef. And while that's always a good thing to see even analysts turning on Tattooed Chef, it doesn't really mean anything, okay? Because an analyst is just a person looking at the company, interacting with management probably. They have some kind of like better insight than the average person would, I would say. But they're still clowns, obviously, because they have these crazy price targets with all these stocks not too long ago, and now they're changing. But when it comes to what happened today, there really isn't a time to celebrate, okay? Because when an analyst changes their opinion, does that really change the fundamental picture of the company? No, it doesn't. It doesn't change anything at all. What's going to change with Tattooed Chef and make it go to zero, which I hope it does, is that the next quarterly earnings show some kind of debt issuance, some kind of share dilution being imminent. That's when you truly know Tattooed Chef is doomed. So, I'm getting messages that, Tattooed Chef's down 7.21% today. It's basically nothing, okay? Because it's all about the fundamentals. Price fluctuations in the short term don't freaking matter. And this is absolutely nothing to celebrate about. Now, when earnings come around, I'm just hoping, man, because like let's go look at their cash burn. This is my issue, and I tell you guys this all the time. This is my concern about Tattooed Chef. When I first heard about this company, I instantly pulled up the income statement, right? And I said, okay, they got growing revenues. That's fantastic. And then I looked at their gross profit. I'm like, wow, that's crazy low. This is a frozen food company. Gross profit 10, 11, 13, 16, 9, 0.9, 11, 1. It is very hard to become profitable when your gross profit is that bad. Look at their operating margins, -8, -37, -13, -16, -14, negative, 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 negative. And of course, they have absolutely no free cash flow. That's awful, okay? Then you go ahead and you look at their balance sheet, and you can see that they're living off borrowed time. They went public, they got a huge cash infusion, and they were basically living off of that ever since, looks like the last quarter of 2022. So cash went up briefly, then it went down, 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 down. And you could see the inexorable decline to where their cash equivalents are basically heading to zero. I mean, look at that chart. Does that chart not illustrate why I don't like this company? That's their cash declining. What do you think's going to happen in the next quarter or two? So while it's always nice to see Tattooed Chef go down and Jeremy be exposed for the fraud that he is, I'm not celebrating. But when the earnings come out and I get to see their balance sheet and their statement of cash flows, if I can trust it, at that point, that is when the true party starts. So let's go ahead and do some comments. Today, according to Lufufu, stocks were going to the moon. I mean, he just makes predictions, and when he's right, he shows us again, and when he's wrong, he just ignores it. How'd you get a cartoon of Jeremy? I found it on the internet. I don't know. I typed in Jeremy LaFave, and then there it was. Jeremy said Tattooed Chef will 10x when it was 23.6 per share. But hey, he's got more subs. He's making more money. What can you do? What do you think about the CFA? I mean, if you work in finance, maybe. I'm not interested in it. Strawman, I'm actually a huge fan. I'm here since you had 1,000 subs. We agree. I just wanted to bait you a bit. Can I get a... Don't worry. I'm not going to block you. I'm not going to ban you. Okay? It's a tough day emotionally for me. All right? Even when you're a long-term event, it hurts. It hurts so bad when you see your stock go down. It's okay. I don't block people. What will Strongman do when AMC squeezes? He's going to look like an idiot. I guess I'll be an idiot. I don't know. Baba 7-year low. Sell! I can guarantee Strongman doesn't give two craps. I really don't care about it. It's just a lesson in, like, if you buy unprofitable trash, no matter what YouTubers tell you, you're going to run into problems with your stock price because eventually that stock price will catch up to the fundamentals. Tattooed Chef, Fubo, Corsair, dude would be bankrupt if you didn't have YouTube money. That's my point. But in order to make the YouTube money, you got to buy the clown stocks. And I actually see a opportunity here where I can actually grift off Baba because I've lost money on Baba, on paper. I can play the game, man. I can be like, it's going to 10x. Oh, just keep buying the dip. And no matter what, I win. That's the YouTube game. Can't wait for the I was wrong video. He doesn't have to admit that until it goes bankrupt. As long as Tattooed Chef inches along, and we'll see in this next quarter how their cash is doing, he can just say, oh, it's going to come back. And then if he's wrong, people get sympathy for him. And then his subscribers grow. Take the black pill. Man, Baba's so cheap, it's ridiculous. On a fundamental level, that stock is insanely cheap. But it went down, so people are crapping on it. I know, Strom. I saw one of my cryptos drop 40%, went up 20x the next 4 months, small percent of my portfolio. It happens. I mean, if you have a small speculative play and you believe in it and it goes down temporarily, I mean, you don't have to sell it. Strongman, do you plan to apply any more of Baba? I'm tempted to build a small position. No, so I mean, I made myself clear. I don't have as much cash as I did last year. And especially next year, it's going to be harder to max my tax advantage accounts because my expenses are going up a little bit faster than my income. So until I can max my tax advantage account and I'm flush with cash, I'm not going to be buying any individual stocks. But at some point, if I start making a ton of money and I've maxed my IRA and my 401k and my wife's IRA, okay, maybe I'll throw a grand or more in BABA. But right now, I'm not doing it. What's happening in China, bro? Everybody's terrified of Xi Jinping and what he's going to do. It would have to almost 10x from here to get back to his original buy. It will never see 5 again. It might, you never know where Tattooed Chef's going to go, but if you look at that cash burn, those low gross margins, the inevitable share dilution, things ain't looking pretty. And especially with inflation just being so persistent, I don't know, man. All right, that's it. I got to go back to work. Cheers.
Bye, 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 bye. I know I'm a grifter, strong man. You could lick your hand and smack me in the nutsack. Thank God for Tesla Maesla and you, strong man.